Oh, hey, you're watching. We're going to start off this video with a little bit of a unbagging of some parts and some tools. So today, I recently got this puppy here, which is something I've been waiting for the neck of this guitar. So let's go ahead and get this thing opened. All right, very nicely wrapped. Very nicely taped. Alright, so what this is basically a block of wood with a little bit of cork inside there. This is going to be the neck holder for basically doing my leveling from now on and my all my fretwork. So this will sit on top of the counter. Now, it is a little bit on the low side, so if you have an angled headstock, it's going to be resting on whatever your surface is going to be. So I am going to have to bump this up maybe another 2 inches to clear the headstock. That way I can end up having this lay flat on the table or counter or my workbench, whatever you want to call it, and be able to clear this headstock. So what I'm going to do is just basically mount a 2x4 to it. It's kind of nice piece of wood. Another thing, which we're change camera directions, so stay tuned and hold on with that. All right, so I don't know if you can see this now from the angle that you're sitting on, but I got some toothpicks sticking out of all the screw holes. I noticed when I removed the neck pickup that the screws that mounted the pickup ring were kind of loose, and the guy already told me that he had to replace one of the pickups. And as I'm looking at the discoloration on the back of the humbuckers, you kind of see one looks a little bit newer, this one looks older. This is the bridge, this is the Infinity 1, this is the Infinity 2, and so he wasn't kidding when he said he replaced one of the pickups. But on removing the screws, it seemed like if I were to try to tighten the screw just a little bit, it would slide right out of the hole. Threads were stripped, so I'm fixing that with the toothpicks. I'm going to do the back of it as well. Now, might as well do all of them instead of just a couple of them. So I ended up ordering the replacements for the pickup rings that were on here. So these are an extra set that I have from another repair I did. These are the ones for this guitar, which are in pretty bad shape as far as corrosion goes. I might be able to polish it out. I don't know. Maybe not, without taking off the plating. Now, these are the chrome ones that I ordered a while back, and they finally came. Now, the one thing that I know I asked for is I just wanted a set. Okay, set meaning 2. He sent me 4 of them, all the same part number and everything else. So I got a hold of the guy and I told him, I says, you know, I only ordered 1 set of these. You know, you sent me 2 sets. What do you want me to do? I mean, you only charged me for the 1 set. I'll be more than happy to pay for the second set or ship them back to you if you want me to. And the guy said, no, don't worry about it, just keep them. So now I have a bunch of these. So here's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. And here's number 4. Flip it around so you can see the beveled edges of it. So I got these 4 plus 2 used and 2 that I haven't done shit with it. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to clean that off. There's missing right there. You see that plating over there, so these are kind of probably going to be maybe a sand and a paint, who knows. So I'm still waiting on another set of these, hopefully only 2 come in, that are in the Cosmo Black. These are in the chrome, and kind of wanted to see what the chrome would look like, if it was going to be too bright, you know, chrome plating, if it was going to be too bright to go with the rest of all the hardware that's on here, or if I can get away with kind of like, you know, just using the chrome ones and not having to worry about it. The chrome ones are a little bit too much on the bright side, so what I need is the Cosmo Blacks. But I've got spares, and I'm going to use them probably for something else, maybe not even for an Ibanez guitar, who knows. So in this one here, basically I can go ahead and trim these guys off. I did find out something about this as I've been taking this apart. Now, I don't know how well the light is with this guitar, but if you could see here, and you can see here, and even around the control over here, you can see it's a different color blue, or not even purple, it is blue. And I'm noticing around the edges over here that there is a little bit of a, almost like a blue burst to it. This guitar is not originally supposed to be purple. This guitar was supposed to be blue. Now, this is what happens when you leave guitars, say, in a window at a store, you know, putting them on display. This is what happens to them. The sun will end up bleaching the color that's on them. Now, the clear coat of this thing is immaculate. The clear coat's fine, other than being dirty, and other than this little mark right here, which I could probably rub that out. I'm not too sure if I can. Other than that, this thing is in almost tip-top shape. There's no chipping, there's no anything on it. Now, the only thing I noticed around this area right here is, and put my finger there, right there, there's a little bit of discoloration as far as not having any paint or stain on there, but it's clear coated over. And there is no stamp on the back to say that this is a factory second. So, you know, it could be something from the factory. I don't know, but there's clear over it, so I'm not going to worry about it. They did have a ground wire going into the center pickup, the single coil, and they did have a ground wire going to the bridge itself. So what I'm going to do is I've got the, what is that called, that stuff, the shielding guitar paint, and I'm going to go ahead and shield this again, and maybe, well, maybe not even shield it with the guitar paint. Maybe I'll go with the tape. I end up getting 2 rolls of tape, Power Plus. I got 2 rolls of tape from someone who sent me some stuff, and I appreciate it. I thank you very much. So I'm going to end up maybe using this aluminum foil tape, Power Plus. Yeah, so that'll work out for shielding, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'll shield all of it, other than this area over here, just to be on the safe side of everything. And I did notice too that upon taking this apart, that, you know, I guess Ibanez had to do a little bit of shaving right here as far as the finish off the wood in order to get the neck to fit right. So I am going to put a little bit of a finish in there just to seal the wood. Very thin coat, nothing really heavy, just to seal it, to keep from cracking in the neck pocket or anything else. So that's it. I mean, this is basically how far I got. All of the I know I got too much time on my hands. If you remember one of my videos I did, I ended up saying something about taking the rings off of all the tuners and making new ones for it, and I did. So now they're all matching rings. I have basically a tackle box that has I don't know how many bone nuts I have inside there, blanks, all kinds of other parts, bridges, tuners. The only tuning thing that I have as far as tuners go are 6 and 6, or 3 and 3, not 6 in a row. So that's kind of like, you know, I can't put them on here unless I drill more holes in the headstock, which I'm not going to. That's about it for right now. I'm going to rewire this thing completely. I don't like, I don't know. I just don't like this copper clad aluminum wire that they use for this shit. I'd rather have real copper, 100% oxygen-free copper. Continuity is much better with that, with regular copper wire. So that's what I'm thinking about doing, is just wiring this thing up with real copper wire, not the copper clad aluminum shit. And that'll make a big difference as far as everything else goes. And again, this thing is going to get a polish. So I've been looking at this thing, and it's like, you could tell where the light was hitting this thing quite a bit. It looks like the light was hitting it, the sunlight was hitting it here quite a bit, a little bit over here, a little bit over here. It kind of starts bluing out here, blues out around the edge over here. It makes for a very interesting finish. I mean, it does look purple, but it's not the original color of this thing. I don't mind it at all, because I'm a sucker for anything that has a flamed or quilted top on it. And this top is beautiful, and having it to be like a purple transparent and being able to see this quilt like this, it makes it really, really nice. If this was a darker finish, you probably wouldn't see that quilt as much, kind of like what I'm seeing over here. And in a few other areas where it's a little bit darker, you don't quite see that quilt that much. This, I gotta say, for a screw up, it's a very well done screw up. So yeah, I'm going to pluck these guys off. Almost make music with those. And I'm going to go ahead and work on the back of this thing to get the back of them, get all these there's a little bit of a chip right there, and by the screw, that's not a big deal. I'll fill those too. Go ahead and fill all these screw holes as well. The insert over here for the bridge, the plate back here and the spring, that was really tight, so I don't think I have to worry about that. Nobody really messes with those, but these covers come off, this cover comes off, and sometimes people have their hands inside there, sometimes people have their hands in there that shouldn't have their hands in there. You never know. So what I'm going to do is fill everything that I could possibly fill and start over again. That'll just guarantee that everything that's mounted to this guitar is going to have fresh threads as it threads into the body. I'll use the right drill bit, the appropriate drill bit for the screws that I'm using, or screws that are in here. And yeah, that'll make out to be perfect. But so I got all my parts over here. I got some of it cleaned up. I got the nut basically polished up and all the corrosion off of that. The bridge has been done, as you guys have seen in that. I got the whammy bar for it. The bearings, everything for the tremolo on this thing is in basically perfect working condition that I'm not going to have any problems with at all. I do want to polish up the tuners. I do want to polish up these nuts here, because they do have some corrosion and some dirt inside of it. The plastics I want to polish up for this thing. I mean, even though it's, most of the plastic is on the back of this, so, but still I want to make this thing look pretty good and bring this thing back, to the way it was when it was somewhat new. I'm not going to be 100% on the new part of it, but it gets it's going to have a fresh start. Now, this guitar may be in a giveaway. I don't know yet. Either this one, or I'll be maybe getting rid of something else that I have and replacing it with this one. That is a not sure yet, but guarantee that there will be a guitar giveaway. Now, I have some other tools that are coming. Once I do a level job on this, I want to see how much fret I have left. And these are supposed to be jumbo frets. If I don't like the way the frets look or the way they feel after doing if they're too short, not tall enough, I'm going to end up pulling these frets up and ordering new frets. I've got that's another reason why I got this as well, to hold the neck. So I've got a fret puller coming, and I also have it's a sleeve that goes over the fret, not the ones not the small ones. This thing is about yay long. It's got a nice notch in it just to slide like underneath the fret a little bit. So when you're using the wire cutters or fret puller or whatever you want to call them, it doesn't chip out the wood around the fret. It's supposed to help that from happening. And basically what you have is you have the clamp part of the fret puller pushing down on top of the metal and going around the fret as well, and pulling the fret up as it pushes down the metal, help you not chip your fretboard as you're plucking frets. So hopefully I don't have to use that to put any new frets in this thing. Hopefully when I level it out, I'll have enough fret left over. These things look like they're pretty low, and I gotta say, whoever did the fret leveling job on this thing, I don't know, they doesn't look like they crowned it very much. More like they rolled it, but they rolled it flat almost. So I don't like that. I like to have a nice, when I do my fretwork, I like to have that nice line in the center after crowning, and work on it after that to round it off and get things to where they're supposed to be. Now I have some fret erasers that I'm going to try with this as well. So instead of having to go through all the different sandpapers, see how well those fret erasers work. So this will be the first time using those as well. So that's it for now on this. I'm going to start popping these things out, and I'll make a video doing that. And this is kind of rumbling on a little bit, so I'll let you guys get back to doing what you're doing. Hope you guys have a great one. Hope everything has been working out for you guys. Everything's been cool over here, and not tearing it. So, all right, you guys take it easy.